Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Dash of Faith is back. Or is he? Well, that's at least what was told in Dash's last video, right? And obviously you clicked on this video because by now you know both names. You've heard of Dash of Faith for sure, if you've heard of Dash, and you've heard of Dash if you've heard of Dash of Faith. I mean, at this point, I don't think, unless you're living under a rock somewhere, by now, if you're a YouTuber or content creator, and you're on the YouTube universe platform, by now you definitely have heard both names, right? It's all over the place. And so let me just start by saying the one thing I can't stand is a bully. I cannot stand a bully of any type, okay? I can't stand a bully at home, a bully in a relationship, a bully at work, in school, a bully, a cyberbully, a presidential bully, a bully of any size, any color, any shape. You know, I just can't stand a bully anytime, anywhere, any day, ever. Like I have zero tolerance for it. So what am I talking about? What? So here's the deal. Let me preface this conversation by saying I don't typically do these types of videos, okay? It's important to say that I don't do these types of videos typically where it's seemingly that I am protecting or defending a particular YouTuber on any particular type of platform, even. Like that is just not my ministry, okay? And that is not what my channel is about. However, and let me say, I'm also not vested in other people's problems because you know what? I got my own problems to worry about, right? And I don't mind minding my own damn business. Like, I'm good with that. I don't care what other people's got going on. And I, quite frankly, don't even have time to know what other people's got going on because I'm too concerned about what I've got going on over here while I am building my empire, right? While I am continuously working towards my dream, right? Dealing with whatever I got going on and what I'm dealing with in life, right? And so I have to say that first and foremost before I get into it. And so the question might be then, well, so why are you? What is this about if this is not what your channel is about and this is not your ministry? Well, a couple things. My channel is about prioritizing your health, your healing, and your happiness. As a holistic business coach and an RN health and wellness educator, at my best, I am an educator. And at my best, I do believe in taking a holistic approach to life. And at my best, I want to make sure that I am injecting and instilling in the lives of others, all the lives that I could possibly touch in my own life through my lifespan, you know, where we don't have a long time to be here. So in the time span that I am here, I want to be sure that I am the light for others. Darkness, I want to make sure that I brighten someone else's day. I want to make sure that I speak truth to power. And I definitely want to make sure that I am participating in people's health, healing, and happiness. That is what my channel is about. That is who I am. And that's just what it is for me. Also, God placed this message on my heart. That's the truth. And I tousled with it really because I truthfully just deal, you know, I'm over here doing my own thing. And so I'm not spending time just, you know, going through my feeds on social media and looking through all of YouTube and seeing what everybody else is doing and what's going on. But it's almost hard to ignore, right? Because every time we are on YouTube, we are seeing all the things about Dash and good or bad or indifferent, right? And or Dash of Faith, good, bad, or indifferent. So I'm just being obedient to the message, okay? I tossed and turned, like I said about it. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to lose sleep over this. I'm not going to interfere. I'm not going to jump in and say anything. But you know what? I'm going to put in my 3 cents for what it's worth. But this will be, believe you me, okay? I said what I said. This will be the first and the last time you ever hear me talking about this because I don't like being wrapped up in the drama. I don't like being reactive to other people's trauma because I personally believe that that's bad karma. Okay. So, but maybe, just maybe, I can slightly shift your perspective a little bit in ways that you may have not thought about the situation here. I want to inject light, okay, and love. And basically, I want to instill, peace where, and light where it's like dim right now, because people are deeming a particular situation as a dark situation. Hence the reason for all the many videos that are circulating about DoDash, exposing DoDash. Okay, let's talk about it. So, what compelled me to talk about this today? Well, the other day, DoDash, as you might know, if you follow her, right? Even if you don't follow her or subscribe to her page, if you are curious at all, and many of us are as human beings, it's natural. You want to know after you've heard the buzzwords, right? The person's name over and over and over again, you tend to just gonna kind of go look and seek out like, what is going on? What is this big deal? What's all the hype about? Who is this person? And so the other day she put out a video to her followers, right? And she put all of her followers on high alert about Dash of Faith being back. And after he was mysteriously gone, he had mysteriously disappeared and nobody knew what happened to him. And there's all this talk on the internet or the YouTube universe and what's going on. And he's a scammer and he's a fraud and this is what he's done. And and then there's the good conversation, right? Oh my God, he was such a light. He was so good. I loved listening to him. I tuned into his videos all the time. Like, whatever happened to him? Why did he just go away? He never said anything. Did he shut his YouTube account down? Did YouTube shut him down? Like, what happened? What's going on? So all the hype. And so on this particular video she asked for her followers, her subscribers to help revive, I'll say, his channel so that we can get him, the people, whomever who tuned in to watch her video, could help him get back up to the 1,000 or so subscribers that he was at before his account was deleted. Okay. And I thought that was a generous ask, right? I thought that was, I don't follow her. I do follow her, excuse me, but I don't watch her every move, right? So, but from every time I've ever heard her, I have not ever heard her specifically ask to do a certain thing for a certain person. Like, of all her followers, now, if I've missed that, then you correct me if I'm wrong. But I personally have never heard from the few videos I've watched of her ever ask for anybody to do such a thing for any of her followers or subscribers. And so that's important to note. And in this video, she not only asks if you go back over there and help revive his channel by subscribing to him or resubscribing, but also to donate at minimum $1. Okay, $1. Doesn't sound like a lot, right? But if you go and subscribe to his channel and you're one of her followers and you're somebody who adhered to, what she asked, or, you believe in her and you want to like give back and pay it forward and all of those things. If you're a part of the Hope Crew and all of that, then you're probably going to go over there and you're like to yourself, you're thinking $1, what's $1, right? Not a problem. I'll go and help him because apparently he was having some financial situation going on, whatever his circumstance was. And so that she asked for his Cash App. She was posting it or pinning it to the top of her page in her description, I believe. And then for those who were interested in helping him financially, they were to then go subscribe to his channel and they were to then go and give him $1 or more, depending on whatever they were able to offer. And from there, that was going to help him out substantially. Okay. So I don't know how many people did that, but I know that did raise a bunch of eyebrows, right? Some followed through, and I was one of those people who actually subbed to him because I was already subscribed to his channel, and I wanted to go and support him because I didn't know what had happened. So I was like, let me first go watch this video that he had posted, see what the deal was, and he made a video explaining what had happened. And of course, I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, right? I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to be of help. So I resubscribed to his channel, not a problem. I made a comment, and, quickly, I would say, I don't know, it didn't take long at all, maybe a couple to a few hours, he had already surpassed 500 subscribers. Now, granted, he had already been on YouTube, right? He already had a channel. So people had already come to know him, like him, trust him. So they subscribed, and then there were probably some new subscribers, but like that, his subscriber count climbed very quickly. So now I'm not going to really go into why he deleted his page. Actually, I was going to refer you back to the video that he actually did when he came back on, and a couple days or so ago, after he had disappeared for at least a week or two. I would say a couple of weeks for sure. But when I so I left a comment on his new page after hearing his video, listening to his video, resubscribed, commented on his page. He responded to my comment. I got a notification about it, and a day or so later is when I was able to respond. And when I responded, or was going to respond, he was no longer there. His page was no longer in existence. So apparently he is a YouTube magician, okay? Because he is reappearing and disappearing. So he's got this reappearing, disappearing act going on. And people were feeling a way about it because, I mean, is this suspect or what? Like, what is going on? I don't know what in the dash of face shenanigans is going on. I have not a clue, okay? And that is not my business. I have no idea. And I'm not trying to figure it out, okay? Because I'm just doing what I got to do over here. But I say all that to say, I'm not even going to bring that up because, again, I'm just not trying to get involved with all of that. A thought came to my mind and I was going to speak on it, but never mind. Well, anyways, let me just say this. Not long after, Dash apparently deleted her video. Okay, that's according to these YouTube streets. Okay, everybody that's in everybody's business or everybody that's paying attention to what's going on is talking. So the streets are talking, the YouTube streets are talking. And apparently Dash deleted the video that she did asking her followers to subscribe to his channel and to revive his channel and to donate some money through his Cash App. Now, and the eyebrows are raised because now, it's really mysterious, right? Are they together as a couple, or are they in cahoots and they're pulling off some kind of scheme or scam? Like, listen, I can't call it either way. Okay, I can't call it. But I do understand how people would think that there was something more going on, right? But could it just simply be a very simple explanation? You know what I mean? Like, so many people always go to the worst thing that it could be. But could it be a simple explanation like, because she was, to me, from the videos I've seen of her, okay, she's always very upbeat, very bubbly, very uplifting, very positive, giving a good word, a great message, learned lessons, sharing a story. She's out doing her vlogging thing. She's excited. She's screaming. She's giving her, monetization, YouTube AdSense updates, and all those kinds of things. I've not seen her, I won't say pissed off, but in a way, I've never seen this side of her. And so maybe, just maybe, okay, humor me here for a second, because we don't know, right? Maybe she was just like, when she watched that video back, she was like, you know what, that's not even the energy I'm trying to have here. Because she's always speaking on, if anybody's leaving negative comments in her, on her channel, she's going to delete them or she's going to look over them. She's not even addressing that. She's keeping it positive. And everybody loves that about her, right? That's a refreshing thing because she wants to keep the positive vibes going. That's what people know her for. That's what she wants to continue, and that's what her channel is about. I respect it. So maybe she saw that video back and she thought, well, no, we're not doing this. Okay. This was in the moment that I reacted. And it could also be, in addition to that, that once Dash of Faith disappeared again, if she absolutely has nothing to do with that, could it be that she's like, okay, I just defended this dude. I just went off. I did the Keisha clap. I was in people's faces. I was yelling at the camera. I was letting you know what time it is. I'm not going to take nobody's ish. Just you don't play with my fan. Like that was the energy. And so maybe she was like, okay, not only is this not me and I'm out of character, but then this dude that I'm defending deleted his page again. Because according to him, on the first video he did when he came back and created the second channel, he had said he deleted it, not YouTube. Now, I'm just giving you, in case you know, this is like a soap opera, right? So I'm just catching you up on the soap opera, all right? And if you're new here and haven't heard really or don't really know what's going on, you can go and check out all the videos that you like to, whatever is still there. I'm sure there's enough videos out there where, you know, enough people are talking about these two, Dodash and Dash of Faith. And so, you know, you can put it all together yourself, okay? I'm not trying to play investigator over here or Miss Sherlock Holmes or anything like that. I'm just telling you what it is. I'm giving you context around the story, some background information so that what I'm about to say makes sense to you, all right? So I'm just kind of going back. Then we're going to work our way forward. And I'm going to tell you again, the main reason why I'm here, which I alluded to earlier when I started this conversation, right? Okay. So I'm just giving you, again, a different perspective. Maybe you can just think about that being an option, right? That could potentially be the answer. We don't know. We haven't heard it from her. Now, just as she hopped on to defend him and to ask people to go to his page and subscribe and revive his channel and send him money and all of this, I can understand why people are feeling like, well, wait a minute, they're feeling a way about the fact that she didn't create a follow-up video and at least say, you know what, I apologize for being out of character. Y'all know that wasn't me. That's not how I usually am. This is why I was feeling the way I was. This is, well, she already explained that in the first video when she was popping off, but you know, that I apologize. That's not what my channel is about. That's not what the kind of energy I want to give. And I appreciate those of you who went and supported, oh boy, but you know what? I'm going to delete this video, or I did delete the video because ABC, XYZ, whatever was the reason. I get that. That sounds simple to us, right? To my knowledge, that didn't happen, okay? Again, if I'm wrong, please feel free to correct me because I don't know for sure. But to my knowledge, there was no video done, no follow-up video, and people were feeling away about that. They were in their feelings, right? And I get that. So especially if you're riding hard with her, and especially if you're already suspicious of her, right? So now I know she doesn't owe anybody an explanation necessarily, but when you're being true to your followers and when you are being an honest person and when you are operating out of integrity, personally, I feel, you know, and if I were in her position, this is what I would have done. I would have hopped on and did a quick video, you know, like she does throughout the day. She comes on several times a day, and it would have just been nice to have heard her say that. Then there wouldn't be any reason to suspect anything. But I digress. Okay. So I'm just saying that's how you maintain the know, like, trust factor with your peeps, right? That's how you especially maintain trust. And so I agree with your sentiments if that's how you feel. Now, the reasons, getting back to the reasons I felt compelled to do this video today is because I think the concept of the Hope Crew is a beautiful movement. Honestly, I do. And whenever that became a thing, I don't know who started it. I believe I only started hearing that terminology when Dash of Faith came on. And I know people were also feeling a way that he wasn't creating, he was creating some original content, but most of all, for the most part, I would say he was riding on the coattail of Dodash, which a lot of people do, right? When somebody when you see trending videos and when you see, another content creator doing well, you usually model the same behavior and ride the wave. Lots of people have been doing that, and I haven't seen any other account get shut down for it. I haven't seen anybody else get, like spoken negatively about them for it. Their channels have grown because of it. They're giving Doda shout outs for inspiring and encouraging them. I really didn't see what the issue was. But anyhow, again, I digress. But that was a part of the reason why I decided to do this video, is because of the whole movement. Because to me, anytime somebody wants to be a part of a bigger movement that offers, goodness and kindness and, is like, a part of instilling love and hope, and they're a part of helping the problem, right? Instead of causing problems. If you're a part of a movement that is, you're trying to be a better person yourself for the betterment of this world, I'm all about that life, right? Because again, my channel, as a holistic business coach, I am teaching women, of course, high achieving women, how to build an aligned and profitable business in the online space, but I am helping them to prioritize their health, healing, and happiness. So, hey, listen, when it's about, I'm about that life, hope, healing, happiness, health, all the things, I am all about it. So when I saw that this was a movement, I was happy to be a part of it. So much so, I decided to post in my community. For those who subscribe to my channel, you may have seen this post. I know some of you have even commented on there, and those that I tagged some of you, right, who are a part of the Hope Crew. And so I think it's a beautiful thing, right? I made this post. I said some kind words. I tagged some people, not everybody, but some of the people who I had seen be a part of this movement. And I feel like, listen, when you are, again, trying to be a part of and utilizing your platform and your voice, and you have the microphone, so to speak, in a virtual stage and the attention of people, and you're growing a community and you are helping the community, fostering a community and helping the world be a better place and people to, come together and be a part of this unity, it's a beautiful thing, right? And it's such a diverse collaboration. So I appreciate that you guys those of you who are a part of this is doing that. And I feel like that should be rewarded and recognized, because so often we're ready to jump on the negative bandwagon, but not the positive one, right? So that was part of the reason. Also, it's just the advocate in me, okay? The advocate in me just would not allow me to be silent. In fact, it kept pulling on my heartstrings, just like, it's in my DNA to be helpful. And that is why it makes sense that I'm a nurse. And that's why I, have a law background, right? Because I always love advocating for people. And again, that goes back to me starting this conversation out by saying, I don't tolerate bullies of any kind, okay? And so my nursing background, my legal background, combined again as a hybrid and holistic approach, I was like, this is a great time to talk about this, especially right now in the divisive climate that we live in, especially right now after we just had this whole political change that just took so many people by surprise, right? So this is the time where we should be empowering each other, lifting one another up, keeping our spirits up, right? Right now, there is just so much going on in this world, the negativity versus the positivity, the hate versus love, the hurt versus help, the demonizing versus praising, right? Blaming and shaming versus looking within and holding the mirror up to ourselves, right? Fear over faith. Like, it's so much divisiveness. And it is very sad and very somber and very sickening, honestly, that people hear part of a story and run wild spreading information and just a litany of lies, right? Information that's not even true, information that they didn't even fact check, just for their own selfish gain. So first it was yeah, first it was DoorDash that y'all went in on, right? And you gave her the business. And then it was Dash of Faith, and then y'all gave him the business. And I hate to say this, but most of the negative reviews and the negative comments came from Black and brown people. I'm just going to tell the truth and shame the devil. I'm just telling it like it is, okay? I don't believe in sugarcoating the truth. So that's the sad truth. And sometimes it do be your own kind, okay? That'll throw you under the bus that way. And frankly, I just find that to be disturbing, especially when most, and I won't say all, but most of the positive reviews, most of the genuine advice, from what I had seen in comparison to the negativity and the poor reviews and the not so nice comments, most of the positive reviews and the genuine advice that was given about DoorDash and Dash, well, I don't know about Dash of Faith, but DoorDash, were coming from our non-melanated counterparts. Now, I'm not naming any names, right? I'm not naming people, I'm not naming channels, and I'm doing that intentionally. Why? Because I am not here to fuel the fire. Okay, I'd much rather be part of the solution than part of the problem. So again, I'm not here for it, okay? So don't come for me, okay? Because I'm not here for that. I am simply saying, because I don't know, sometimes people, y'all be getting stuff twisted. You hear something like this, you hear part of the story, part of the truth. You didn't even finish listening to the rest of the video, and what, you didn't get the bigger message and the key takeaway from this, and you'll go spread the litany of lies. It's just, don't do that, okay? So I am a part of the solution, not a part of the problem. I want to start with DoorDash, okay? Now, when I first heard of her, it was approximately, I could safely say about 3 months ago. I was going to say 2 to 3 months ago, 3 months ago, I'm pretty sure, which at that time, she had just a few hundred subscribers. I say just, but I'm not going to emphasize that word. I'm not trying to minimize just a few hundred subscribers, right? Because the reality is, I only have a few hundred right now. So she had probably around the same amount that I have right now, maybe 300 or 400. And I remember, I'm trying to remember exactly what was there. I know there was a bunch of content creators at that time, smaller YouTube channels that were being pushed out. The algorithm was pushing out so many people that was just popping up in my feed. I'm sure yours too. And you probably were like, what's going on? Like, where are all these new people coming from? That's what I was thinking. And so the first video that showed up in my feed from her, and up until this point, I had never heard of her, never seen her before. I never knew anything about her, okay? But she had done a video that was titled something to the degree of, I don't know the exact title, something about, I hate my 9-to-5 job, or I'm never going back to my 9-to-5, or something like that. And I remember seeing other titles like this, but I had not seen her face before. So she hopped on, she did a video on that topic. And I remember her saying in that video that she was inspired, or maybe it was that video, anyways, that she was inspired by someone else's video that had done the same topic. It was a trending topic. She hopped on the bandwagon, right? And she rode the wave on that. And that was the video that put her on the map and exponentially grew her channel. It blew her up. Now she has over 50,000 subscribers and counting, right? As of this recording. And so I think that's a beautiful thing. Hell, how many of us wouldn't love that, right? Now, that is not to say this was an overnight success story for her, as many may think. Contrary to popular belief, she had been on YouTube for 4 or so years already, okay? And she had another channel, and she was doing other types of content, and she was not having the same success as many of us here are still striving for, right? To achieve. Like, she was still where many of us still are. So whatever was her story that made her transition into starting a new channel and doing things differently. And then, like I said, doing this particular video, she was at the right place at the right time and she did the right thing. And then now here she is, right? So once she had the attention of all of these people, now she has a bigger audience. Of course, she's going to capitalize on all of these people and the attention that she has, right? Because at the end of the day, that is the best currency, is the attention of the people. I mean, that is what we are doing all of this for, right? I mean, it's not just about the impact and the influence and the income. It is also, in order to get there, we have to be visible in an oversaturated market. And so usually that requires you to stand out and be authentic and, just be genuinely yourself and all of these things. And so that's what she started doing, showing up on a daily basis, being consistent, pushing out lots of content, doing just small snippets of video, right? Short clips of whatever thoughts were on her mind, anything of inspiration, short skits. And I think before then she was doing like lots of reels and skits. And just sharing her story, talking about her journey. And giving the people a good word, words of encouragement and inspiration, and encouraging people to do the same. So it was attracting more and more people, especially of the Gen Xers, right? Who were finding this to be very refreshing, very fun, very freeing, very liberating, right? And they started to shower her with lots of love. And while others, not so much, right? But now I do realize that not everyone who does a video about DoorDash is a hater, okay? People like to throw that term around loosely. Not everybody is a hater just because they are expressing their opinions and offering some constructive criticism. That's healthy to give that kind of feedback, okay? And that wouldn't be a fair assessment, right? Or fair for me to say something that was as dishonest as that. So I'm not saying that. I recognize that is the truth. But the truth is, whether you support her or not, she is still going to do her thing, right? She is going to continue to show up. For some people, they thrive on adversity. I'm one of those people. It doesn't matter how you try to put me down, bring me down, drag me down, throw me down, beat me down. I'm going to keep getting back up. I'm going to be there in your face, like it or not. Love me, like me, leave me, don't matter. I'm going to be there, So she is doing her thing and living in this monumentous moment. And she is entitled to that, just like you and I are entitled to our opinions. It's not going to change anything for her, right? The crazy thing is, though, now that she's winning, everyone knows her name now. A quadrillion, zillion, million people have done a video about her. She went from being this good girl to this bad bee. I ain't gonna say the real word. I'll say bish. Okay. The tables all of a sudden turned, and she went from being a saint to a sinner, a savior to a scammer, a woman of faith to a fake and a phony woman. Like, people started making videos about exposing DoorDash and exposing the problem and exposing the scam. Here's the problem with that. You can't expose the truth if somebody else already told their truth. You know what I'm saying? You can't expose the truth that somebody already told. You can't use someone's truth against them if they've already shared it. Like, that's not how this works. You can't expose the truth based on your gut feelings or rumors or pure speculation. You've got to gather the facts, okay? You've got to gather the evidence. That's some supporting documents or some sort of evidence that supports your claim. You've got to maybe even have some witnesses before you can present a solid case. And when you're presenting the case, you can't be one-sided. You know what I mean? Like, I know a little something about this because, again, my work as a legal nurse consultant has placed me in a position to be, actually exposing plenty of small companies and big corporations. I have helped take quite a few players down. Okay. I know what I'm talking about because of their wrongdoings. I know exactly how this works. Can you imagine, if I came half-ass and, I'm bringing a presentation to court, I'm presenting my case, my claim that this is a bad corporation, that these people did these people over here wrong. Like, you know what I mean? And we're in the middle of a lawsuit, or maybe before it goes to trial, maybe we're going through depositions and such, that I am bringing half-ass information, and I'm not telling the facts, I'm not telling the truth. I'm only saying, well, I got a gut feeling this happened, that I heard about this situation. I heard about this company doing this to other people. Do you think that's going to hold over in the court of law? That's laughable, right? They are going to laugh my ass out that court. You know what I'm saying? And so you can't just come without the facts, presenting a case when you don't have all the information. And the information you do have is inaccurate. So for the record, I do not pay attention to every move DoorDash makes. As I said earlier, I am not fixated on or preoccupied by DoorDash and DoorDash's life and every video she puts out. I praise the sister. Okay. Shout out to my sis. Listen, I've already given her props where props is due. Like I said, I have subscribed to her channel to support. This is no ill feelings at all. Okay. And this is not a video to talk badly about her, nor is it a video to talk badly about Dash of Faith. And what my mind is on is my own business and my own life. Okay. And what my next best move is, not what DoorDash's next best move is. Because I'm not personally riding on her coattail. I give her praises where praises are due, and she's doing the damn thing. Okay. And I applaud that sincerely. And I've already said it in a previous video, and I've said it to her. But I am not, I'm following her journey. Okay. And when I do tune in to the videos that I've tuned into, what I can tell you for certain to make my point clear about, you can't just have some of the facts and not all of the facts or inaccurate information. What I can tell you for sure is that DoorDash already shared with her subscribers her dread to dream story. She already talked about how she was door dashing, hence the name DoorDash. I actually think that's a very cute and clever name and clear. How she was working 14, 15, 16, 18 hours a day with no days off for the last couple years. She talked about doing skits and from that, she wanted to showcase her talent because somebody told her she's funny and she never thought about it. So she wanted to add some humor to her already long and exhausting days. She already talked about her weight loss journey and how she had an Instagram page. And for 3 years, she shared with her audience and her followers how she lost 100 pounds or more. And then she had the loose skin surgery, but she couldn't afford the surgery. And she wanted it so badly. She was in a desperate place, and she was determined, so much so that she was going to be out there flipping a sign to raise the money. And then it hit her that, hey, I've been sharing my journey with my followers. Why don't I just ask for a donation? And that's what she did. And she raised the money that way. And that's how she was able to get her loose skin surgery. She already shared that. She already shared about her hair care products and the inability to keep up with the demands of that. And she didn't realize it was going to be a hit and take off. And she apologized for the people that she wasn't able to deliver to. And she made a mistake, and she talked about her mistakes, and she apologized to her customers, and she paid some of her customers back when she got the money, I believe, with some of her YouTube, the money she's making on YouTube. Okay, she talked about her first YouTube channel and why that she still has that channel and why she created a second channel because that channel didn't take off like this one. She talked about the distinct differences, what worked well for her now on this channel versus what didn't, what went wrong on that channel or what she could have done better. And that she does still have that one active because she already started that account and she already has some momentum going over there, just not like she does now. Okay, she said in the beginning that she didn't want to teach people how to, grow on YouTube the way she did and how to have success on YouTube the way she did. She didn't want to make empty promises. She didn't want to create a digital product, okay? But her followers kept begging her and asking her in the comments and saying, you should teach this and can you show me how? And then she did it and people were salty and sour about that. Like, I just don't get it, right? Like, it's crazy to me. In fact, though, as a holistic business coach and someone who's been in the online space for the past 8 years, I can tell you for sure that I would actually highly recommend that she had a digital product to sell and that she had an email list that she could capture her audience on, because you know what? That way she's not dependent solely on YouTube, the platform itself, or just the AdSense that she's making the money from. Like, that can go away at any moment. As you can see, people's ad accounts and YouTube accounts and social media accounts gets disabled all the time. So there have been people advising her, very educated people who are in business like myself, who's been in this online space for a while, seasoned gurus or seasoned YouTubers and content creators, who's actually been saying to her, she should do this. And so she did. So, that's a smart decision. That's not a scam. You feel me? But again, people take half information and they just make up their own stories and come to their own conclusions and they just put it out there. So, you can't take this and just have a gotcha moment. Like, ha, I see, you see what I mean? Yep, she's a scammer. Yep, she's scheming. Yep, she's onto something. Yep, her and Dash of Faith, they in cahoots. Yeah, they got something going. They're fraudsters. How do you know? I mean, like I said, I haven't even been following her journey that long. And look how much I already know about her. Look how much I just shared right now, right? Boom, 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 back to back. So, I mean, now I can appreciate, because I think she put out like it was maybe $19, I believe, for a blueprint on teaching people about YouTube. And from what I heard, I didn't purchase it. I didn't need to purchase it. I have my own mentors and business coaches and, people to help me out with what I'm doing. And I didn't need to know the basics. I am at least beyond the basics. But she put out something that was basic. Okay. Well, I better talk fast. I don't got that much time left. Shoot. Okay. I might have to do a part 2 to this if my time runs out. Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can reach my, this never happened before, but look, I'm transparent and I'm very candid, I'm very authentic, and I'm very real, okay? If I cannot reach my charger, then I will have to do a part 2. Oops, okay. Hang on. If I can make it work. I guess I should have thought about that, huh? Hang on, y'all. Bear with me. That's so crazy because I actually charged this up. I thought maybe I did that earlier. I didn't realize that it had been sitting so long. The last thing I want to have to do is a follow-up video. Making all this ruckus over here. Hang on. I don't want this to cut off on me. Okay, we got it. Yay! wondering why it got, there we go. I was like, why did it get so dim? Okay, y'all working me today. Hang on. It's getting dark over here. Can y'all see me okay? I hope so. Listen, if this was live, this is exactly what I'd be doing. I am not going to start the whole live stream over, okay? I've been talking way too long. I'm trying to get the light right. It's so crazy how it gets dark so early now, and it just makes a world of difference, that 1 hour. All right. So what was I talking about? I got to pick up where I left off. What was I talking about? I wish somebody was here to remind me. Oh. Her guide, her blueprint, right? Okay. So, anyways, people were feeling a way about the blueprint. Okay. They were feeling like it was only like 13 or so minutes long, and that it didn't give the kind of quality they expected, right? Like they expected something else. They had high expectations, and for it to be one thing, and it wasn't what they thought. I can appreciate that. I can appreciate anybody who wanted to learn from her for obvious reasons, right? I could appreciate the fact that people gave her real honest, constructive feedback about, where she could improve, what she can improve on, because the number one concern is always, you want to make sure your customers are satisfied. Because if you rub people the wrong way out the gate, there's always room for improvement, right? But if you rub people the wrong way out the gate, they're never going to trust you enough to buy from you again. So now from what I understand, she no longer has that link up so that you can access the blueprint. So apparently she had heard, she didn't say why, but I remember her doing a video, and in this particular video I watched, she didn't mention why she, revoked access. But I have a feeling, pure speculation, again, I don't know, that it's perhaps because of all of the feedback, right? So anyhow, like I said, I appreciate that from the people who did purchase it and then kind of put the word out there, because if you're beyond the basics, you might want to know that, right? You want to be offering people value, real value. I think people were up in arms about it, honestly, because I didn't know this video was going to take me this long. But anyways, I figured people were going to be up in arms about it, or were up in arms about it, because she had mentioned before that she wasn't going to charge anything. But like I said, in the beginning, maybe those were her thoughts. Maybe those were her feelings about it. And then the more she thought about it, and then she got that kind of like that scare, right, about her account was going to be deactivated, I think that kind of made her rethink some things. And she started to take the advice from the people who had said, you really should have a, email list. You really should have a digital product. So anyways, okay, I digress on all of that. Anyhow, just because her product didn't offer the kind of value or the quality that you expected doesn't make her a scammer, though, right? It could simply mean that she just needs to improve on her packaging and her pricing and her overall product. And if she's new to doing this piece of it, maybe, I'm just trying to look, I am an optimist. I always see the glass half full, if you can't tell. So I'm just giving you, again, a different perspective through my lens. Maybe it could have been that, right? So, in my opinion, she shares enough free information. She shares enough free content on YouTube, on the platform. So why shouldn't she be entitled to benefit from promoting an offer for a nominal fee? Most of us in business anyways, I'm not just a content creator, I'm a business owner first. Okay, and as a business owner in the online space, I have to create content because that is a part of my visibility efforts. That is a part of brand awareness. That is a part of me showing up and showing my credibility, right? That is me, showing up so people get to know me. They like me, they trust me, so that eventually they invest in working with me. That is what, listen, I'm not doing this as a hobby, right? I am not just here to create content. So everybody's goals are different. So I don't know if that's what her goals are, but I'm just saying, if she's ultimately trying to be a business owner, and even if she isn't, even for you as a content creator, you still should be taking people off the platform, because in the event that something happens to your account, how are you going to have access to all of your followers, all of your subscribers, your entire community that you've built? How will you access them? How will you reach out to them? How will you communicate with them? So doesn't it just make sense? Right? So sometimes I think people just feed into it and read into it way too much. And then they're not thinking just common sense stuff. So considering that, she's pursuing YouTube as a full-time business, or, full-time job, or whatever you want to call it, in lieu of a traditional job, or in lieu of door dashing as a side hustle or a side gig, I commend her. And she can learn from her mistakes. She didn't make the best guide or whatever it was, a training or video, whatever it was. She can learn from it and she can do better, right? Also, she shared her setbacks, and she did that in real time. That's how she gained so much praise and trust. And that's why people still rock with her to this day, no matter what people are talking about, no matter how many negative videos have been put out, no matter what people say about her, because they already believe in her. Do you know what I'm saying? So you're not getting ready to change that. She gives God to glory, glory to God all the time, right? She gives God the glory, is what I was thinking to say, for her success all of the time. And then some people put her down about, why you bringing God into it all the time? Like, I mean, she just can't win for losing, right? All of a sudden, she's no longer a victor. She's a villain. All of a sudden, she's not about, motivating people. She's just about money. All of a sudden, now she's a janky person because she's so joyful. Like, what? It's like, make that make sense. I don't get it. So the funny thing is, while people are attempting to drag her down, they are actually lifting her up, because they keep posting videos about her. Y'all keep creating content about her. So how counterproductive is that, right? I told you my reason for doing this video, but I'm talking about the people who's doing videos, multiple, every day, all day, do dash videos. If it were not for her, what would you be creating content about? Because your channel is not about Dodash, is it? Now, I've heard people say, well, people need to be exposed for their scams. I agree. But you don't even know if she's a scammer. You don't even know if she's doing something that she shouldn't. I mean, again, half the story doesn't work. So if anything, if you're doing content about her, maybe you should be thanking her, because she's actually bringing more attention and more views to your channel, because you keep doing videos about her. But you know what that's doing? It's sending people over to her, okay? Because you're trying to hurt her, but you're actually helping her, because the algorithm is working in her favor. Because when you do a video about her, yes, they watch you, but out of curiosity, and people just being nosy, they're going to go see what she's about and who this girl is and what you're talking about. You drive traffic to her channel. That's more people that get over there. They watch her videos. They end up liking her. They feel her positive vibes and her energy and all of that. And guess what they do? Subscribe to her channel. You just help her get more subscribers. So it has the opposite effect. Like, you're not doing her, you're trying to do her dirty, but it's not working in your favor, right? Like, how is that benefiting you? I'm not saying you who's necessarily watching this, but if you're one of those people, you know who you are, right? And it's just so bothersome, though. It's so bothersome to see how many people are disturbed and distracted by her happiness and by her laughter. Like, I can't help but think that it's people like that. If you're one of those haters that's tuned in right now, who put Trump back in office, because you're the same people who didn't vote for Kamala, not because of nothing to do with her policies. No, that would be, I mean, that would be like, oh my God, that wouldn't, what sense does that even make? Not for that though, nothing to do with her policies, nothing to do with, I don't know, something else that might make sense. But because of her joy and her giggles got on your nerves. Because you're intimidated by strong, independent women who lead and those who are champions for change, to the degree that you can't stomach having somebody like that in charge, especially not in that high of a position. A woman of color at that? What? Hell no. That's your thoughts, right? But no matter what Trump says or does, he's your hero. It doesn't matter about his racist rhetoric. It doesn't matter about his inappropriate behavior. It doesn't matter about his disrespectful women, including his wife that he cheated on. It doesn't matter about his criminal history as a convicted felon. It doesn't matter about that he attempted to overturn an election. None of that matters. He has a whole laundry list so long, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. He has literally told you right to your face how he feels about you as the other. And still you voted for him over a highly educated, well-qualified woman of color. She just happens to be a woman of color, even though it was against your own interest and poses a threat to our democracy. That is wild. Here's the truth, though. Individuals who like to stir up chaos and confusion instead of promoting calmness and celebrating caring, compassionate, cheerful, confident people and fostering community are typically insecure and attention seekers. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's the truth. Most times, from a psychological standpoint, again, that is a part of my background. Okay, so I'm not just talking out the side of my neck. I'm telling you the truth of what it is. When people take a mob approach, when they start whisper campaigns, when they do this fear mongering, instead of operating out of facts, it's a reflection of what's going on internally, right? What's going on inside of them, in their hearts, in their heads, and their spirits. And as the saying goes, misery loves company. So people just hop on that train. Just like people hop on the positive train, people hop on the negative train as well, right? That's what makes this country so divided. Polar opposites, the presidential candidates I spoke about. When people go out of their way, when they go above and beyond to tear somebody down rather than to build them up, it's because they are projecting, right? It is because they are operating from an unhealed wound, from an unhealed place. And then from this unhealed wound, they bleed all over everyone around them. When people latch onto negativity, it becomes contagious and spreads like a disease. And then the environment gets contaminated until the disease is contained and controlled. It is absolutely mind-blowing and mind-boggling how some folks would rather dance with the devils than to search within their souls and heal their own hearts so that they can exude good energy when they rightfully deserve it, when people around them who are winning rightfully deserve it. So whether you ask for my advice or not, I'm going to give it to you because, again, I'm here to inject peace and positivity. I am here to instill love and light into the lives of everyone I can touch with the power of my words as a part of my obligation and my role to help heal the wounds of the people who are hurting, the people who are pain, the people who are out here exuding all this negative energy because they're operating from this place that I just spoke about. So if you are still here, thank you so much for rocking with me, okay, and for listening. So if you're still here, what I'll say is this. This is like, I would say, the biggest takeaway message. This is what I want you to leave with. If you've heard nothing else, okay, and then despite my mishap here, thankfully, though, I didn't lose you because we had to get that charge on. What I will say is this. Stop being burdened by other people's blessings. Girl, that is a whole bar, okay? Stop being burdened by other people's blessings. Because you know what? That's only blocking yours. Because the universe is always listening. And it will return to you what you deposit in it with interest. You might not want that interest, right? That is the karmic law. What you do to others is already done to you. You understand what I'm saying? If DoorDash is being a shady, shisty, shitty, dare I say, scammer, and I'm not saying she is, but if she is, if the operative word, that's God's business. Okay? That ain't your business. That ain't my business. I stay out of God's business. He deals with that. What I do is stay in my lane. What I do know for sure is what is done in the dark must come to the light. You see the entertainment world, how it's unfolding. It's been going on a long time, but it is coming out slowly but surely, right? It is unraveling. Now it's quickly and not so much slowly but surely, because we're in the Me Too movement and people are whistleblowers. Everybody's telling what's going on. So my words of encouragement for you today is that the only voice that you ever need to really pay attention to, the only voice you should be listening to, the only voice that you should really have in your head and in your heart all of the time, every day, all day, no matter what's going on around you, is the voice of God. Okay? Because life's going to keep on lifing, girl. Or guy, fella, if you're here with me, okay? I cater to women, so I'm talking to my women right now. But I'm talking to you too, if you are a guy and you happen to be tuned in. Life is going to keep lifing. Ain't nothing we can do about it. It's inevitable, right? It's like a never-ending roller coaster ride, and we can't get off. Life ebbs and flows. It twists and turns. It's ups and downs, right? It takes you backward and forward and backward. You're up high one moment and then whoop, dip down to the low, low, low when you didn't even know, you wasn't even ready. You were ill prepared, right? That's how it is. 1 minute you're here, then you're there, then you're here, there. That's life. We have temporary setbacks. But at the end of the day has to end, right? And the truth about time is that it doesn't stand still. So the good news is that whatever you are going through right now is what you need to grow through in this moment of time. But it won't last forever. Because what did I just say? Time keeps ticking. It don't wait for nobody, right? So keep your faith strong. Keep pushing past fear. Keep your head held high, right? Know that God is always going to be by your side and on your side, and that hope is here, right now. And that's all I really wanted to say. We are at an hour, so I'm going to let you get on about your day. I'm going to carry on with my day. As always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. And I hope this was helpful. If it was, please do yourself and somebody else that you know and care about the favor, and me a favor, of sharing my message today. Because inevitably, if it helped you, then somebody else needed to hear it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for whatever video YouTube is recommending next. All right? Catch it if you can. Bye for now.